It was March 5, 1982, and the Soviet Union's Venera 14 lander successfully touched down on the surface of our hellish neighbor, Venus. In total, it operated for just 57 minutes before succumbing to the harsh environment. But in that short time, it managed to capture a color panoramic photo of its scorched surroundings. More than 4 decades later, this photo remains one of the best we have from the surface of Venus. Venera was a series of space probes launched by the Soviet Union in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, aimed at studying the planet's bizarre environment. The program also sought to return the first-ever close-up photos from the surface of another planet. Over the course of the program, 13 probes successfully reached Venus and transmitted data about our neighboring planet. 8 landed successfully on the surface, and 4 managed to capture incredible photographs. The reason it is so difficult to land on Venus is that beneath its thick, toxic cloud cover, the surface experiences extreme temperatures and pressures. In fact, Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system, even though Mercury is closer to the Sun. Here, temperatures reach about 475 degrees Celsius, or roughly 900 degrees Fahrenheit. To put that into perspective, that's more than 7 times hotter than the highest ever recorded air temperature on Earth, hot enough to melt lead. But it's not just the temperature that makes Venus so hostile. All that thick cloud creates a crushing air pressure more than 90 times that of Earth's. The atmosphere at the surface of Venus would be similar to the pressures found more than 914 meters or 3,000 feet below the ocean. Along with the extreme heat, this environment would easily destroy most spacecraft attempting to explore Venus's horrifying landscape. However, the Venera landers were designed to endure these intense conditions just long enough to collect data and provide us with the first ever glimpse of the Venusian surface. But how exactly do you take a photograph in such a hellish environment? Based on previous data, it was clear that if the camera were placed outside the protective shell, the immense pressure and temperature would destroy it. Therefore, engineers placed a telephotometer inside the lander, behind a special porthole. Light from the surface bounced through a periscope, which then directed it to the camera protected inside. Venera 9, which launched on June 8, 1975, was the first mission to attempt to take photos of the Venusian surface using this technology. Although the probe successfully landed, unfortunately, only one of the lens caps on the 2 cameras separated. What was planned as a 360-degree panoramic photo around the lander became a 180-degree photograph. Still, we got our first ever look at this scorched landscape. The white object at the bottom of the photo is part of the lander, and the distortion is caused by the old Venera imaging system. Angular and partly weathered rocks can be seen dominating the landscape, many partly buried in soil, with the mysterious horizon visible in the upper left and right corners. Following in Venera 9's footsteps, Venera 10 reached the surface on October 25, 1975. Again, only one of the lens caps separated properly, returning a 180-degree panoramic photo before going silent after about 65 minutes. The lighting was similar to that on Earth on an overcast summer day. According to scientists, the objects at the bottom are parts of the spacecraft, and the ground appears to be covered in flat slabs of rock, similar to volcanic areas on Earth. In December 1978, Venera 11 and Venera 12 landed on Venus, collecting even more data for over an hour and attempting to capture the first ever color images. Unfortunately, in both cases, the lens cap issue struck again. Both lens caps on the cameras failed to separate, so while the landers returned valuable data, neither was able to take any photographs. After this disappointing lens cap malfunction, engineers made a series of changes to the design of Venera 13 and Venera 14. These 2 are the only probes that have ever transmitted color photos of the shrouded Venusian landscape. Venera 13 landed on Venus on March 1, 1982. Once on the surface, the lens caps successfully ejected, and the cameras began taking panoramic photos around the lander. The probe survived for 127 minutes before going silent, which was enough time to capture in color what appears to be a bizarre landscape dominated by flat, dark, layered rocks and fine grain-like soil material filling the gaps. The lens cap can be seen sitting in front of the lander, and distant rolling ridges are visible in the corners of the photos. Just 4 days later, on March 5, 1982, Venera 14 successfully landed in a different region of Venus. Like its twin, the lens cap also successfully ejected, allowing us to see even more of this hellish terrain. However, the ground in Venera 14's images seems far more fractured, with much less of the grain-like soil material seen in Venera 13's photos. Once again, you can spot the ejected lens cap, and in the distance, the hazy horizon. Each of these incredible photos gave us a tiny glimpse into a world covered in clouds so thick that its surface was a mystery until the first lander arrived. They revealed a yellow sky above a cracked, desolate landscape that is both alien and strangely familiar. Scientists discovered that Venus is so harsh that no Earth creature could survive there. Yet, this world may have once been Earth-like before undergoing catastrophic climate change. It's been decades since we got a fresh look at what's below the clouds of our scorched neighbor, but that might be about to change. One of the most exciting upcoming missions is NASA's Da Vinci Plus, which will study the origin, evolution, and current state of Venus from the top of the clouds all the way to the ground. This mission is planned to launch sometime in 2029, so we'll have to wait a bit longer. During a flyby, the Da Vinci spacecraft will release a descent probe equipped with a camera, allowing us to see Venus like never before. On its hour-long descent, the probe will take thousands of measurements and capture close-up images of the surface as soon as it emerges from the thick clouds. The probe isn't required to survive the landing, but if it does, it could provide up to an additional 17 minutes of invaluable science. Unfortunately, the Da Vinci Plus descent probe doesn't have a panoramic camera, meaning the old photos from the Venera landers may still be the best close-ups we have of our hellish neighbor for many years to come. This is a testament to the brilliant engineering that went into these groundbreaking probes all those years ago. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, tap the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss an upload. If you want to learn more about future missions to Venus, check out this video where I take a closer look at the Da Vinci Plus mission and other exciting upcoming missions to Venus. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.